Red pill men are a red flag. I've seen a lot of red pill content go around, and I've even actually run into some red pill men in real life. And what I find to be the truth for all the different type of red pill content men, even there's some red pill women, which that's insane. That's a different topic. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I found the red pill to be very performative and almost, I don't really like the form toxic masculinity. Um, but I will say I feel as if the red pill is more so performed masculinity. It's more so don't do this for women, don't do this for women, judge women for this, judge women for that. And like I said, it's very performative. I see so much about if a woman, if she's been with too many people, or the single moms get it so bad. I feel so sorry for that. Like, but if a woman has any type of traces of visibility of being attached to another man previously, then she has essentially lost her value and she's not deemed worthy or desired anymore. And it's always the red pill group, the red pill men, that like to push this narrative. And the reality of it is, that is truly not the case. Just because a woman, and a lot of times, right, like I said, single moms and women who have been known to be in a relationship, they're the ones who get it the worst, right? It's always like if you have any type of attachment to a man, then something's wrong with you. But by default, by thinking that way, then you're essentially saying that men are the problem then, right? So if you're saying that a woman has an attachment to a man, then proceeds to not have that same attachment, then there's something wrong with her. Well, the woman was the same before and after. So the only difference was that man. So you're essentially saying that because of that man having any type of, connection with her, then that's the problem. Essentially, he's a problem, right? So you see how that doesn't make sense. You see how even some of the ideologies in the red pill space, they're really counterproductive and they make no sense. They're really they cannot coexist. So I want to talk about the women who kind of champion the red pill, and it's they like to like piggyback off of the red pill content. Those women disgust me the most. um I am I'm a grown woman, obviously. So the fact of I don't need to say I'm a girl's girl, but you will see the way I behave and my characteristics shows that. And the women who are very red pill centered are not girls. They are the ones who will essentially do something, right? But if another woman does it, they want to shame her and and say, "Oh, well, I'm not like her." And it's like, the saying, the pot calling the kettle black. That is what the women who push the agendas of the red pill are doing. This channel, I use a lot of images of dark skinned black women because I am that. However, there have been times when I've used photos of women of other races. Moving forward, I will predominantly use photos of dark skinned black women because that is what I am. And I love to share this message, and I want to inspire other little, you know, dark skinned black women who are younger than me, or, maybe not younger than me, but they haven't experienced as much. I want to make them feel safe and know that this is a community for them. With that being said, I am still a woman and my message is for women. Although my experiences, some of them have been from the perspective of a black woman, there's other topics that I've spoken about that are applicable to all women. So, regardless of what I am, what I look like, I am still a woman and I still love to look out for women. I was just in the park a few days ago and I love nature. I love going out, getting fresh air and walking, and I brought some lunch. And I do picnics. I'm a big picnic person. I have a picnic basket. It's the cutest thing. It has a little lid. Very, it's very like romantic. I'm extremely romantic to myself, and that's why I'm in the relationship that I am now. Um, I receive the romance that I give myself. With that being said, I was in the park and there were some young girls, I would say maybe high school age. I wouldn't say more than seniors, right? So they were in the park. It was a group of girls, and I had my lunch and I was eating and I was just relaxing. And one of the girls came up to me. I think she was probably Hispanic. I'm pretty sure she was Hispanic. So she was like, "Excuse me, can I have a piece?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So I gave it to her, and I said, "Does your friend want any?" I gave the second friend something. The third friend didn't want anything, but needless to say, there was these young women, right? They're girls still, but they're young women. They're asking for something. I'm gonna give it. That is what being a girl's girl is like. It's not always, you know, taking off your coat, laying it down so someone else can walk over it. It's little things like that. When I go out to eat, when I'm, ordering a coffee, when I'm just out and about and I'm being waited on a woman, I will tip her extra. There's something about taking care of the feminine that really pours into your life. I don't remember where I saw this, but it was saying, if you're broke, go find the nearest woman and give her some money and watch how money comes to you. Money is it's a feminine energy. Think about it. Everybody wants it. What does everybody want? Everybody wants a woman. Everyone wants the beauty of a woman. Everyone wants the leisure of the woman. Everyone wants the luxury of a woman. Everyone wants women. Men want women. Women want women. Kids want women. What I mean by that, men desire to be with women. Other women desire to look like other women. Children desire to be taken care of by women. Money is the same thing. Everyone wants it. It's a feminine energy. So when I'm talking about being a girl's girl, when I'm out and about, if there's a young girl, if she asks, I always get compliments about my makeup. So whenever a younger girl asks about my makeup, I tell her what I use. But I also go a step further and tell her how I take care of my skin, because that is something that, although it's not necessarily I'm giving her a physical item, I'm giving her knowledge. I'm pouring into the feminine. I'm pouring into the feminine. And that's what a girl's girl is like. So when I see red pill women and online, I scroll past it and I say not interested, do not recommend, because that is just so disgusting to me. How are you of one of the greatest energies of this world and you want to go against it? That is disgusting, right? It's bad enough there's men out here who are in this red pill and they're, essentially trying to, and what it's unnatural, they're trying to tell, especially young men, don't take care of a girl, don't do this for a girl, judge her for this and that. And it's natural for men to take care and provide for women. It is natural, 100% natural. Even at my lowest, even when I, did not know the best, when I did not do the best, I always still attracted men who would take care of me in some way, shape, or form. Not saying every guy I dealt with was, takes care of me as well as I'm being taken care of now, but that's always what I was able to receive and attract, because that's natural. It's natural for a man to want to do for you. And if you are unfortunate to run across someone who has red pill ideology, or you were brainwashed by red pill ideology, then you will begin to believe that, you should not receive treatment from a man. You should not be taken care of from a man. And that's very unnatural. That's the best way I can put it. I the you know the type of relationships I'm in now, and it's not just, the romantic one I have. I'm even speaking about friendships and, sometimes even just collaborations. I receive from all of these different relationships because that is what's most natural. The same way I freely give to other women and other feminine energy, I freely receive from other women and other feminine energy. There is nothing wrong with that. And I remember seeing this video and I felt so sad for this girl. She was crying because she was saying how she was in this relationship and she's essentially lost her boyfriend to this red pill ideology. He's changed and he's just become someone she doesn't recognize. And the thing is, that has happened on a scale that I don't believe we've seen before. And if you're not careful and you fall into a relationship with someone who has a red pill ideology and hates women for being women or hates women for the leisure they have, then you will always be a target. I was essentially targeted from family members, friends, even some people who were closest to me, because I have a very peaceful and leisure led life. I do. It is today's Tuesday. I sometimes I forget the days of the week because I am just like, I am not rushed. I am not, oh, I have to get up and do this. No, that's not my life. I woke up today at 9 o'clock, honestly 9:30, no rush. I told my partner, I want something to eat. I laid in bed, checked my messages, checked my, my comments. I responded back to comments. Um, I just relaxed. A few minutes later, I'm like I said, I'm still laying in bed. I have breakfast for me. Then I say, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the gym today. I want to go sit in the sauna for a little bit. I ended up sitting in a sauna for an hour just because I can. No rush to do anything. I wanted to go out and go shopping, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm stopping to make this video, obviously. And then when I go home tonight, I don't have to cook dinner because I'm just saying what I want to eat and it's going to be presented to me. And I have a lot of people in my life who hate me because this is the life that I have. When you are truly in your feminine energy, that is the life you will receive. There is nothing unnatural about living a life of leisure as the feminine woman. Do not fall into the red pill ideologies and do not fall into alignment with anyone who has those ideologies, because that is very hurtful and very damaging for you. I love you, Diamonds, and I'll talk to you soon.